4. Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining me tonight. Before we go ahead, I want to thank A.C. Smith, my factotum, for all of his help and his patience, because I can get pretty out there, pretty demanding. So thank you so much. In public, I thank you. Tonight, I'm going to be reading from the second book, which is Redemption. And in this book, there's a couple of stories that are told, but I'm continuing with the Fiona and Francis story. Basically because I want to tell you about this wonderful Chanel dress that that Fiona finds, or actually Martha Janine finds for her to wear to this Burberry show that Francis is taking part of. He's on his way to retirement, and the show centers around older male models, you know, modeling their really good stuff, and it's called The August Among Us. Oh goodness! All right. Do we need to start all over again? Okay. Sorry. So are you gonna close it? You're not gonna close it. Okay. I forgot to put my mic on. All right. So, but I don't need to go to that whole explanation, though, do I? So okay. So, it's. They're going. Francis and Fiona are going up to San Francisco. He's going to be modeling, you know, this stuff called The August Among Us, and so we meet Desmond, the hairdresser, for the first time, and then we find out something about Desmond and Martha Janine. So, without further ado, here we start. As was his wont, Desmond did not divulge his clients' appointments. Desmond mused on the ideas of genetics as Desmond mused on the idea of genetics as Josie, with her standing appointments every 2 months for trim and copper highlights, looked more like her aunt Martha Janine than did her cousin Fiona, who was her aunt's daughter. Josie was down to earth and content with her life, content to be part of Walkerville. He was grateful that she was like her aunt only in appearance and not her personality. Consequently, when Martha Janine arrived unannounced after his full day of work, Desmond was hungry, tired, and grumpy. With a glass of Sauvignon Blanc, he was relaxing at a 45-degree angle on his client's hydraulic chair. It had been a hectic day, with clients arriving too late or too early, with several missed appointments. He wasn't in the mood to accommodate any of her demands. She made far too many of them when she was sitting in this same chair. Ready to request her to leave, he noticed a split-second's hesitation flash across her face as she scanned the salon looking for him. Her apparent vulnerability intrigued him. He righted the hydraulic chair, giving her his full attention. She quickly hid the doubt behind her usual mask of privilege as her lovely blue eyes landed on Desmond. He noticed the sturdy garment bag carefully draped over her left arm. Stepping forward, he nodded to her. Martha Janine drew herself up to her full height, ridiculous only because of those 6-inch heels she insisted on wearing. Knowing he had his full attention, she carefully unzipped the garment bag. She handed the garment bag to a waiting bee, who always sensed a serious mood. Becky, who was reviewing Desmond's schedule for the following day, stopped in mid-sentence. As a body, Desmond, Becky, and Bee gravitated to the dress. It was flawless. It was the classic little black dress, the iconic fashion statement made popular by Chanel with the intention of creating a garment that was long-lasting, versatile, and affordable to as many women as possible in that most neutral of colors, black. Desmond appreciated immediately that it was a real thing with its numbered Givenchy label, the ultimate LBD made of perfectly woven black Dupioni silk, giving it an iridescent shot look. It was figure-hugging with an elegant neckline that crisscrossed in front. He knew that Fiona had a gift that eluded most women. She could wear a cloth sack with pizzazz. He knew that Martha Janine recognized this about her daughter. Desmond knew immediately that this was Fiona's dress. Stepping back to admire the dress, his eyes locked with Martha Janine for a bit longer than necessary. They both turned away at the same time, he to clear his throat, and she to fiddle with her hair. Breaking the spell, Desmond said, "This is perfect." Looking directly at Martha Janine again, he went on, "I was thinking of giving Fiona a chignon with a little bit of bangs, feathery, adding a little delicacy to evoke a sense of gallantry in Frances. What do you think?" Martha Janine's eyes sparkled, lighting up her beautiful face in a way that took his breath away. "Oh, gosh, that's perfect. I knew you'd do fine. I just knew I wanted to show you the dress." She seemed giddy, not her usual severe, self-conscious self. She was distracted as Becky shoved a dog-eared Vogue magazine in front of her. It was a Burberry ad with Frank Perdue modeling a lightweight wool suit of charcoal gray, single-breasted, in the faintest of stripes. He was standing beside a vintage white Jaguar, key in hand, a beautiful blonde woman already in the car. He looked imposing, confident, sincere. His dark blue eyes glittered with irony. Becky eyeballed Martha Janine as if to challenge her. "This is what Francis looks like when he's working. He and Fiona will be the highlight of the evening. With her in that dress and him looking like he owns the place, they'll own the party." Martha Janine murmured to no one in particular, "I must have missed this issue." So the scene switches and Fiona shows up to get her hair done. She sat on the chair, taking down her ponytail. Her hair was thick and luxurious, brown with a little bit of wave and a natural cinnamon and honey tones. Desmond spoke in a low, friendly voice. "I saw the dress you're wearing tonight. It's magnificent." She looked troubled. "You saw the dress? When?" Bea piped in. Your mom brought it in last night. We all saw it. It's beautiful. You're going to look perfect in it." Fiona blushed, murmuring, "Oh, I didn't know Mother would bring it in." Desmond responded hurriedly, "I'm actually glad she did. You see, we haven't met formally, although I've seen you around, so I had an idea of what you looked like, and I had an idea of what I'd like to do with your hair, but it wasn't until Martha Janine actually brought the dress that I knew my idea would really work." Her smile lit up her whole face. Her brown eyes sparkled. Desmond could see why Frances was intrigued by her. "I've been wondering about what to do with my hair. I really hoped you'd have some ideas. It sounds like you do, and I'm excited." Desmond bowed. "That's my job. Here's what I'm thinking. A simple French chignon, some light feathery bangs. That's it. I think that would go perfect with your dress. Just some light makeup. And I see that you've already got some clear nail polish on, so that'll work." Looking at her hands, she quickly crossed them under her arms. "Josie did them." Desmond responded casually. "Ah, yes, Josie. She's a regular customer here." Fiona nodded. "Yes, I know, and I want to thank you for giving me this appointment in such a hurry." They looked at each other, Fiona grinning shyly. Desmond was glad she was so easy to work with. They knew they liked each other. Fiona's cell phone rang. She excused herself while she answered it. "Hello, Mother. Yes, I'm chatting with Desmond about what he plans to do. It sounds perfect. Yes, I'll go straight up the hill to change." She took the phone away from her ear, puzzled. "Desmond, my mother would like to speak with you. I hope she doesn't get snotty." Desmond grinned. "I don't think so." "Hello there, your daughter is in good hands," he replied to a question Martha Janine asked. They both laughed when she remarked, I will never live it down if you are not satisfied, although it is Fiona's hair." He gave the phone back to her. He sighed for a moment, then made up his mind. "I don't know if you've heard, Fiona, but I am seeing your mother." Her mouth made a perfect O. Shaking her head, she asked, "As in dating?" In all earnestness, Desmond responded, "Yes, dating." She was silent for a moment. "Well, you are the only man since my father who actually has a career and knows what hairstyle goes with a little black dress, so I say, good for you." An hour later, Fiona was transformed from ingenue to sophisticate. He only wished he could see her in the dress. Fiona sighed, and sensing a wistfulness coming from Desmond and Bee, she gathered both in her gaze and asked, "Desmond, Bee, will you be here in about an hour? I'd love to show you how everything goes together." Bee was more than excited to be included, and Desmond felt honored. He put his hand to his heart. "I'd love to see your ensemble." So that's the first section. And the second piece that I'm reading follows this first piece pretty closely. So Fiona drove quickly home. Martha Janine was pacing anxiously in the front parlor, and raced out to greet her. "Oh my God, you look beautiful. Can you hurry upstairs and change?" Fiona was running. "I'll change. Will you help me?" Pleased to be asked, Martha Janine quickly followed her daughter to her room. Fiona put on a pair of sheer black thigh-high stockings, black silk panties, then stepped into the dress, slithering her way into position. It felt just made for her body, the corset bra perfect for her small breasts. Martha Janine expertly helped her with the crossover neckline and deftly applied the platinum and pearl brooch. Fiona wore a pair of diamond studs as well. Looking at herself in the full-length mirror, she laughed. "Oh, Mother, who is this beautiful woman?" Martha Janine, standing behind her, wrapped her arms around Fiona's small waist. "You are Fiona, and you are beautiful." With a 3-inch Jimmy Cho's, black lace cashmere shawl, satin clutch, and her designer cocktail dress, she glided into Desmond's shop, looking regal and just a tad scared. Fiona called Josie, letting her know she'd be at Desmond's if she wanted to see how she looked. Josie screamed in her ear, saying she'd be right there. Bee summoned Becky, who had been out all day. She was eager to see Fiona as well. Desmond took some pictures, saying, "For my portfolio." Bee said, puzzled. "What portfolio?" Becky smirked. "You know, Bee, his portfolio, remember?" And Bee just nodded. Josie wanted to give her cousin a hug and wasn't sure if she should. "Can I hug you, or will I mess up your hair?" "Come here." Fiona wrapped Josie in her arms. "Desmond is right here, and he can fix my hair if it needs to be fixed." "You just look so beautiful, Fee," Josie wept. Martha Janine dabbed a tissue around her eyes that was shining with unshed tears. Bee looked like she might cry as well. Looking abashed, Desmond said genuinely, "Thank you so much for coming here. I'm so proud of how you look. You'll steal the show tonight." Becky, ever the critic, nodded. Excitedly, everyone followed Fiona and Martha Janine down to the car. They were on their way to Francis. At the driver's window, Desmond bent casually down and kissed Martha Janine quickly on the lips. All four younger women giggled as if watching their parents making out. That's it. Thanks for joining me. And don't forget to look below all of this stuff on YouTube. There's lots of useful information. It would help if you liked it, to click on like. And you can find out about how to get in touch with me if you've got any questions or feedback. And I just want to hear from you. Just say hello to me. And we are archiving all of these readings, and there's going to be a link to the playlist below as well. So once again, I thank AC for that. And the link for tomorrow's night live stream, I'll be back at 11 again tomorrow night. So hope to see you again. And again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow. Am I done?
Clear.
Thank you.